What up?
That's it? Oh, okay. I was thinking that was it.
But we're back with our second episode, and our guest this time is a little bit better guest than Josh Crank. No hate on that one. No hate on that one though.
I think it's only because he feels more exclusive because Josh Crank is
Josh
just
Crank hangs out with us all the time.
Yeah.
So Josh Crank was just like playing at Big Shot. He's like, nah, I don't want to do another radio show. That's whack. I hate that shit. But our second real guest, our first real guest, our second guest is
Hunter Spurlock.
Yeah. So I guess, I don't know, I guess the main reason, like the whole outsider mentality, I guess, is just like pursuing passions, you know?
Yeah,
so
just
like,
whatever you want
and,
at any time.
So like, your thing is kind of dance, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mainly dance, yeah.
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 So like, how long have you been dancing? Because
that one's a weird question because me and my sister was actually talking about that, and I think it started when I was 12. So there's like layers to this. When I was 12,
levels to this shit, man.
Yeah, there's levels. When I was 12, my parents started going to church and all that, and they had this drama team, and I just always liked being in front of people.
Yeah.
I remember at my sister's volleyball games, my mom says she doesn't remember this unless I just dreamed this all, but I just remember like being in front of people, like performing or just doing whatever. And looking back on it, it's like kind of cringing. It's like, why did she let me out there?
Oh man,
no.
But any early performances for anything are cringy.
Yeah, but so I wanted to be on that stage, but it was all girls, and so like, you know, I wasn't really a leader back then. I was more of a follower, so I was waiting on like any other guy to go, and then one of my friends did, and so I wanted more, and so it just kind of deepening. And I realized that like it done something to me. It wasn't just like moving. It wasn't just an exercise. It wasn't just like a song, but it was like therapy.
Probably, like relaxing.
It was therapy, and it was just like this self-expression. Okay, so I was really self-conscious, and I had bad posture. I'd always like slouch, and I really didn't like myself or how I looked or anything like that. And I just remember that whenever I danced, I didn't. You know, I was able to straighten myself out. I was able to like stand and have posture that I didn't have without dancing. And so it just kind of helped me get out of my shell. And because I was always quiet too.
Yeah.
Whenever I wasn't around my friends, I was always quiet, and people were always shocked that I'd get up there and do that stuff. And so
I feel like it's easy to be embarrassed when you're doing something that you don't really want to do.
Yeah.
But when you're doing something that you like,
you don't care.
Yeah.
It's almost like I played basketball in high school. Like to think about playing basketball in front of like I'd say probably like 300 people at times. Like that's a big crowd for like somebody like a high school kid.
Yeah.
And it almost like makes you not care because they're coming to watch you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like now if you like done a dance for like a crowd of people, you would just go all out because you know that they're there to see you. But like I guess like in high school when you're just getting into it, you'd kind of hold back. You wouldn't go all out because you'd be like half in, half out because you're like, I don't know if they're here to watch me or not to watch me. So I'm just gonna like I'm gonna get my foot wet.
Yeah, like with
But when you know people show up to see you, like almost like your dance class that you have at Ascend at what time on Wednesdays?
It's usually around 6. Yeah.
Shameless plug
for it. But it's almost like when you go like have a dance class that you teach or whatever, like you're gonna go all out for those people because they probably like pay or like know you or like want to learn from you. So you're gonna go all out for those people unless you'd probably go to like some school and do like some class that kids don't want to be. You're gonna hold back obviously because why would you give them your all if they're not gonna give you your all?
And that's like with music, the experience I've had with playing shows, like if you go to like just a bar, like a restaurant where people aren't coming specifically
people
for
are there
you,
to drink.
Yeah, it's a weird feeling sometimes because you almost feel like a nuisance.
Yeah.
Which music is more overbearing. I don't think you can have just like dancing in a restaurant, you know.
Yeah.
Just clogging in the corner.
Yeah, like you can have casual music in the corner, but you can't have casual dancing.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
ballet on the bar.
Yeah, but yeah. So like that portion of my life was like the biggest portion, and so there was like once I realized, you know, I want to get more serious about this. I want to go deeper in this. I want to do something with this. So like 24, I don't know. I have it on my or Twitter or whatever, but I started watching YouTube videos, and a guy named Wildebeest Adams was doing Upgrade You Beyonce choreography, and it was so addicting. And so I just, when I was watching it, I couldn't help but learn it. I watched it 1,000 times, and so I just started watching more and more of his stuff because his choreography, it just hit my soul, like it just fit.
Yeah.
It just stuck.
Yeah.
You know, some people's is just like, but his just like hit. It portrayed the song so perfectly. And so
It's like this day and age where, like you was talking about, self-education.
yeah.
Self-education is more valuable, I think, than education.
Oh,
Because when you go to college and educate yourself, there's only so far you can go.
Yeah.
Like, you're just stuck with that. After you're done, you're there. Then it's going to cost a large amount of money to go any further.
Yeah.
Or you're going to have to restart. But self-education, you can educate yourself on literally anything. That's like we started with Outsider, like clothing company, like just self-education. We was like, okay, let's watch some YouTube videos. Then we slowly started like become an addiction to know how to do something.
Yeah,
Like self-education, I promote self-education more than anything. But some people can't self-educate because they just don't have any passion really, or like something that is not being taught in a school. Or
it's hard to self-educate when you're trying to teach yourself something that you don't want to learn.
Yeah, like-
the reason that self-education works so well is because you're not gonna self-educate unless it's something that you like to begin with.
yeah.
And like almost at that point, self-education just becomes like entertainment to you.
Yeah.
It was almost like when I was in college, I didn't know how to study. I didn't know how to do anything. But then I realized, like, me going to all these Reddit pages, watching all these YouTube videos, like, doing stuff, like, repetitively, I was like, this is studying. I am studying this, like, screen printing craft that I'm, like, trying to get a job in.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel like I was studying. I was just, like, just watching stuff. I'd watch 2-hour-long videos and just be like, damn, 2 hours went away.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, I'm all for you should go to college if you want to go to college.
Yeah,
but,
if you want to go to college.
But don't just be like, well, I got to go work at, here we go again, McDonald's.
And education doesn't end at college either.
No.
Like, I'm sure that anyone
College
who's
may start you off on something to self-educate.
Yeah, I'm sure that a lot of, like, I don't know, counselors or scientists, whatever profession you want to name, I'm sure the best ones got more education far beyond what they got in school. They researched a lot to get to the higher peaks.
Like you got the base model. Mm-hmm. Then they was like, okay, this is what everybody's getting. How can I get more than everybody? But then self-education come in.
Yeah, and YouTube is like such a good and
it's
like
the greatest
social media
platform ever is YouTube. You get visual, vocal, and like steps.
So that guy that you watched on YouTube, what was his name?
Wildebeest Adam, like the animal wildebeest.
Yeah.
And
Is
then
that the
Adams.
dude you went and seen in California?
Yeah, he's got a company named I'm a Beast, which is awesome because Amma is like, the name for it. And so they'll do things like, if they do charity work, it'll be like I'm a Give. Or their contemporary branches, I'm a Breathe. So it's always like, I'm a do something.
I really respect that too. I think that's something that like this generation has had to learn as like a business, as like an entertainer. You have to learn how to market yourself.
Yeah.
And like it's not about just being the most entertaining. It's also about getting that stuff in front of people in a way that it's presentable.
Yeah.
But the greatest thing ever about this generation is marketing is free.
Yeah.
This generation, you have so much free marketing.
You don't have to pay to get a TV ad.
You don't have to pay a cent to get something like put on Instagram as an ad.
Nope.
Like you just.
I mean, you can pay for ads, but you can just put anything you want out there.
If you hit it just right, you don't have to pay for anything.
Like so, ad revenue nowadays is just like only corporate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's the corporate speaking, but you can't. like really knock corporate for doing stuff like that, because you know somebody that is like as small as us with like I don't know 600-700 followers gets Coca-Cola, they give us $100, you know we're gonna like blast them as loud as we can.
Yeah, but and I don't know. It just seems like this and like what like people on the lower tier of entertainment are doing, people who aren't in Hollywood. It's like there's more realness to it because you're going to get a lot more information about you. People are going to learn so much more about you and get inspired easier by you in this platform where we can just sit and talk and have a natural conversation, as opposed to like being on a talk show and you have only 10 minutes to, probably promote what you're doing currently and 2 seconds to talk about who you actually are.
And it's so cool though, because like not just this generation, like the big generation, but this generation in Hazard, with the coal going down and everything, we went through all those years of not having anything. It's like caused some of us to like, we don't have anything.
Find a skill.
We don't have anything, or we don't have what we want here, so we're making it.
That's a beautiful
making
thing.
a job.
Yeah.
Is
you
like,
have to like go through this crap. You have to go through nothing to get to something.
Nowadays with social media, you can provide any service. Like, say you're good at basket weaving. Make baskets, sell them on Facebook.
Yeah.
Or Etsy.
Yeah, or Etsy
eBay.
or something. eBay. Like, don't be like, well, I can't get a job. They ain't no Cole.
Yeah.
Like
stuff like that. Like, don't get me wrong, Cole was great and everything. It's gave many jobs across this, like, Eastern Kentucky, Virginia, West
But there's
Virginia.
this new platform that's
Yeah,
rising. And the platform is...
And it's not hurting the environment.
Yeah.
Like,
the platform is just like coal being drug out from under us. Like, we're catching
we're
our
not
balance
helpless.
back now.
Yeah, we're not helpless.
Yeah, and it's just like this newer generation, like our generation and the people younger than us, they're more inclined to use technology and understand how they can like market themselves and like make
They're
a
growing
business.
up with it.
Yeah.
Unlike us, we was born in like the perfect time period. I feel like we was born like not knowing what it felt like to come home to an iPad or Wi-Fi or stuff like that. Like probably like 6th, 7th grade is when we really got Wi-Fi or something like that. Then that's when I guess you started just like self-educating yourself on the internet.
Yeah.
But nowadays, kids like 5-year-olds know how to use the iPad.
Yeah.
Know how to use like anything, like a phone. Know how to like. If you'd have gave one of us that phone in like 4th grade, we'd be like, "What?
Yeah.
No, not a chance."
And you can seek out things that you want to learn and things that you want to be entertained by, as opposed to watching TV where you have no control.
And it's so cool though, because like
Entertainment on demand.
someone across the country was posting this stuff for the new content for YouTube and all that, for all of this, and you can tell with like the quality of the video and all that, it wasn't to where it is now, where everybody knows like the lighting and the fog and all the stuff. It was just kind of early, and you can tell that they were hitting their marks, and they were really starting early with it. And it was this video, I'm saying them so you can go and watch them and just really kind of put yourself in my shoes. It was by Wildebeest again, and it was Countdown by Beyonce. I love Beyonce, so I love this guy because
Queen Bee fan.
Beehive.
Yeah.
But it flashed to a part to where they were dancing from a window, and I was just looking, in the background, whatever, and I saw
I actually
cars.
watched your YouTube video over this, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Which one?
The one where he was like, you like woke up and you was like filming your mom in the mirror.
Oh yeah, the
I
vlog.
watched that video.
The
I watched that one.
Vlog.
Yeah, well,
I'll watch anything somebody I know puts up because
Yeah.
I just think it's interesting.
Well, I was watching the video and I saw in the background cars were driving by, and I was like, this is a real place. This isn't some magical far distance place. Someone put this together, and they made it happen, and people are coming in and using that place. So I was thinking, I've always wanted to grow up in a dance studio. I've always wanted to perform, and I was like, why, what Ben says, why not Hazard? And so,
Who?
Ben Fugit.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, I mean, why not Hazard? And so, of course, you can't just open up a building at age 18 or 19 with no credit, no money or anything
True.
like that. But you start somewhere. You start from that video. You start from self-educating, and you just
And that's
go
like
from
nowadays too. Like you can have contact with anybody.
there. Yeah.
Like without social media, I would have never been like, hey, you want to be on this podcast?
Yeah.
Without social media, you like. But nowadays, we could literally send a direct message to the president of the United States.
And it's just up to him if he wants to read.
Yeah, via
Yeah.
Twitter. Like, it's gonna get through.
Yeah.
Like, that's just crazy to me. And so, like, getting to people is not a obstacle now.
Like
Right.
the opportunities that we have, like
It just blows my mind how easy stuff is nowadays.
and like, man, I love it so much that like we have that access because the people around here, especially in like all the small towns, especially like rural, you know, a lot of southern areas, are
It's like
just
people are connected in a way that they don't know they're connected. It's like, back to me playing basketball, like, Happy Mobellini knows me from playing basketball against Hazard High School. And so when he sees me, like, at work, he comes in here for something for Hazard High School, he knows me, like, he almost trusts me.
Yeah, and we should use that to our advantage. Like,
Yeah,
we
like-
need to support each other because, like, I know I'm sure like you've probably faced some insecurities of like with dance because a lot of people don't see dance as like a Superman.
It's like
thing.
all eyes are on you, and it's like, are they what I? It's like, is this kid what I see on TV? Because dancing isn't a culture here,
Yeah.
and it's not a thing at all. And
Yeah.
every time, like, I've had a lot of questions. Can you teach me contemporary, ballet, jazz, ballroom,
Oh, okay.
line dancing, everything but hip hop or anything like that. I don't even know what hip hop, urban dance, or anything with the beat is like what I like
Yeah.
dancing to.
Yeah.
I don't like putting myself in a
I'll
box.
say this, like, everything around here that's new to somebody that nobody has never started is always going to get hate. Like, Outsider Brand at the beginning, people would make fun of us so much.
Because they don't know what's out. It's like they're in a dome. They don't know what's outside. They don't know the
But
culture.
now it's almost like we was like the founding followers of like a brand in our area. Like,
Yeah.
we gave the freedom to people to like, you know what, do whatever you want, start whatever you want, do whatever you want, like, just be you.
Yeah.
And the thing with Outsider Brand, like in the early on stages, we was just making it just because we wanted to, just be cool, and people would hate on us, and we'd just wear it and like give it to our friends. But now we've almost, like, just because of social media, we've captured an audience that people will almost, like, it blows my mind. They will pay money just to buy our stuff. Then I'm like, I'm still stuck in the stage of like, I want to give it away.
We're still just like dumbass kids.
Yeah, I just want to give it away. I don't want to make any money.
Yeah.
I just want to give it away. Like, almost every time, if you come to me and to buy a shirt, you'll buy that shirt and you'll probably leave with 3 more.
Yeah.
Just because I think it's just crazy to me that you want to buy something that I make, that is cool, and you just want to just buy it from me. So I'm just like, you deserve more than that. I just want you.
Yeah.
I just want you to have as much as possible. If you're begging me to take your money,
I struggle with that, but in a different way. With I want to give this to you. I don't want you to
Yeah.
pay for it, but like it's in a different twist. Whenever I'm teaching people,
it almost feels like they get more from it if they buy it.
yeah,
Yeah.
People don't want to pay for something that's free or cheap because they're going to think it's not going to be
Yeah.
good.
So you have like you're doing like dance classes,
Yeah,
right?
he does a dance class.
Yeah. Every time like I put it on a business card or make a flyer, something happens, something changes. So I'm trying to figure out, how to advertise it.
Yeah. So can you do like your own like design stuff or stuff like that, or do you have to like outsource it for somebody? Is that what's the problem you're having?
I'm
Like
just saying
changing the
like
dates and stuff.
Yeah, like I'm gonna start like making business cards to where like I can just write out all this stuff, like have a place for it to be written, and so anytime like I go somewhere and like that class is canceled that night, then I can just change it so they wouldn't.
We was talking about this, like having like outsider Facebook group pages.
Yeah.
Like outsider like music, outsider dance, outsider like workout, like almost like a ground of gathering for
Yeah.
certain interests, but you're like this type of person.
Yeah, you're under.
Like it's like almost branches. Like, okay, outsider they're like, okay, we can go here and not have really any judgment at all.
Yeah.
And like communicate in this area.
And that's what our whole that's like what our whole thing has been from the beginning.
No
really,
judgment. Do whatever the hell you want.
It's like giving people.
We don't care if you play tic-tac-toe for a living. Go for it. If
you
you love it, go hardcore at it.
Exactly. If you're passionate,
don't half-ass anything.
If you're passionate about
Don't
tic-tac-toe,
half-ass it.
dude, you put your all into tic-tac-toe.
Like,
Honestly,
don't half-ass it.
It's all about just like whatever your passion is, you need to pursue it. And like I'm so happy that we're to the point now where we're finally getting this podcast going, where we can give people like you a platform to speak. Yeah. Because
we're not getting anything from it, but it just like it's almost our branding that we want for you to get. If we got nothing from it, we would prefer to you to get like.
Oh yeah, like when you DM'd me and I was like, a podcast?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Well,
like I love these things. Like it's just so cool because it makes you feel like that silly dream or that silly idea that you had at one point is like it matters.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, some people might be like, it's just a podcast. But when people like see you and whenever they recognize you,
they're gonna be like, oh, it's a podcast.
Yeah, like whenever they're in the
effort
people
was
need
put
to be
towards
in
this.
People, I think everybody should try and do something like you said they're passionate about, no matter what it is, just to see what it's like and the challenges, not just from the outside but the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Like I give myself so much crap because I'm not how. Whenever I feel like I'm dancing a certain way and watch the video, it's nothing at all. I'm so sloppy. I'm not perfect, and I tried my best to be perfect, and that is like the worst feature to have.
Yeah. Here's like my thing. I have a saying for like everybody. I say it to myself. I don't know if I said it to Keegan, but work starts after 5.
Mm-hmm.
Like you know what I'm saying?
It's like you have your day job, and then you
work
come
starts
home
after 5.
You work on
but
but you've kind of made your
also
job.
I've been blessed with like a job that I like, and I like it ties into something that I love.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not doing something that I want to make or what I want to be building or what I want to be doing, at least I'm doing a part of something that I want to do for the rest of my life. So,
yeah. And so like
so work starts after 5.
Continuing like kind of pulling it together like what earlier, it's just like whether you like people believe or not, like that's totally up to them. I'm not here to shove it down their throats, but to me it was just like a complete God thing because my preacher asked me to speak and I had no idea what I was going to speak about whatsoever. It was just like a group of guys and he just randomly picked them and then he's like, will you speak? And I said yeah. And so I didn't know what to speak about, so we was in a meeting and I had my computer open and I was just thinking about what I'd speak about, and I was just looking out the window and I was like, dreams, because that was like the week or two after I had like posted on Twitter like, anybody else wish there was a dance studio in Hazard? It got 12 tweets. To me that's a lot because I only get like 2 likes or whatever.
Or I tweet dumb stuff and get a stupid amount of likes.
But like,
dumb,
it got like 12 and I was like, I'm famous at this point. But
I wish somebody a happy birthday yesterday and it went in their birthday and it got like 16 retweets.
I think it would have got less retweets if it was their birthday.
Yeah.
It really would have. It was like,
But I just spoke about dreams and everything, and I was just telling people, you know, if you're miserable with how you're living life right now, or if you've given up on your dreams at one point, then what's keeping you from going back to that place? Mm-hmm. Like, why do you feel like you have to grow up and be miserable for the rest of your life?
You grow old when you quit having fun.
Yeah.
It's not about like
you never quit having fun.
It's not about like getting a real job, you know.
Right.
Like I think there are a lot of people.
Work starts after 5.
There are a lot of people in this area, and just a lot of the older generations in general. They don't understand that being a dancer or being a YouTuber or even a gamer is like a viable option for employment.
Like my brother, he makes like $45 a day on Twitch. But he sits there for like 12 hours a day. He's put a lot of money into his setup. He's probably got like $5,000 setup. But over time, think about it. He's only been doing this for like 3 years. He's making $45 a day. What is that? That's over. I'll say that's probably minimum wage. Mm-hmm. And he's sitting there doing something he loves instead of driving to McDonald's and working for $7 an hour.
Yeah.
That's insane to me. And like I always
It's
like,
super like it's a privilege. Like it's a major blessing.
and
It
I'll
really
say this:
is.
it's good to have like parents that are younger, like mine. I think my dad's like 40, but he's like really big into gaming and stuff. Like, and so I get like, if my parents would have been like, I don't know, like 55 or something, they wouldn't have supported him like that. Like they have him, and so I'm just like, we all got lucky at the time we was born and when we was born.
Yeah, well, one thing with the age and all that and the mindset is like, so basically what happened was I saw that this guy, he does these travel things, Wildebeest. He does these travel things across the country, and it's called Road to Build-A-Beast. And so, he's going on all these locations, and Build-A-Beast is this big event at the end of the year. So it ties everything that happened all across the country together. And so I was sick and tired of just like watching this guy on YouTube, and I was like, why don't I do something about it and go to a class that's like on this side of the country? So I looked at the tickets and everything, and
That's almost like me with graphic design. I got so tired of seeing everybody like, here's what I made on Illustrator. Here's what I made. And I told Peyton, I was like, listen, teach me how to do graphic design.
Yeah.
And in 3 days, I've spent like 20 plus hours on like Illustrator, and I am designing better than like most people would in like a month or two of training, because I just get obsessed with it.
yeah. And so we picked Chicago, but it was like in the middle of winter, and so we're scared snow would be a problem. And so the next option was Las Vegas, and I was begging my parents because mom was in school and just like financial problems and everything. My grandma was sick, and we just didn't know how it would work. And so I was just begging them. That was the only thing I wanted for Christmas. I didn't want anything else because I didn't need anything else, but I felt like I just needed that. And so, like, before that though, I had this dream that I was walking into a hotel room and I had this manager or whatever, and I pulled back the curtains and I saw these wonders of the world. I saw the pyramids, I saw the Eiffel Tower, I saw these bodies of water and blimps and everything, and that was before I wanted the tickets, and so I didn't realize it was Las Vegas. And so I asked for the tickets, and then on Christmas morning I opened the presents. And I was thankful and all. I wasn't being a brat or anything. I was glad for what I got. And I was just like, well, it's just not meant to be. It's not my time or whatever. And so he pulled the Christmas tree or the Christmas story thing where he waits until all the presents are open. And he's like, I think there's one more left. And so he said, look over there.
Classic dad move.
Yeah. He said, go over there and look in the tree. And so I went behind the tree and everything, and I was like, I don't see anything. And he said, look closer. And it was like right in front of me, and it was a red envelope. And I was like, oh, I'm scared to get my hopes up. And I opened it, and it was the tickets and everything. And I'm not a crier, but I teared up because I was like, okay, this is real. This is what I've self-educated is about to be in front of me. And so we flew out there and everything, and I'm trying to like make it all short.
Yeah. No.
But like
No, we got plenty of time for it.
but it was crazy. A culture shock. I'd never been out west before. That was the first time ever.
Out west is a different breed.
I've usually gone like
been to
Florida.
Utah, and that was, I don't think I'll ever go back to the culture shock.
Like we usually went to Florida every summer because my grandma lives there, and we drove that 14-hour drive. That's like the most I've done. Tennessee, I never been really far away from Kentucky.
Yeah.
And so it was crazy because I walked in by myself. They didn't buy the observer passes, and so I feel like that's a big thing too, is going out of your comfort zone to grow.
Oh, God, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I walked in there by myself, a new dancer basically, a beginner, never been in the class before in my life, and these people that you see on YouTube are walking around you who are like professionals, and all these kids that have been like in dance their entire lives or who have agents at age 8.
Yeah.
Are all around you, but you also have beginners around you, but like you don't notice that because it's like you're professional, and so it was crazy. And the first day, my mind couldn't hold the choreography, my mind couldn't absorb anything. I could get 2 8 counts, and then that was it. And I was beating myself up. I was like, I suck at dancing. I'm not really a dancer. The second day went on, I was sore. I was miserable, but I was loving every second.
That's the thing too. Is dancing's
It's
one
very
of the greatest workouts ever. Like,
dancers are athletes. I don't
because
care what
you
anybody
take your
says.
mind off of the movement and the cardio that you're doing, but as soon as you stop, I bet you're out of breath. Like,
Yeah, dancers are
because
athletes.
you're having to focus, you're having to think Unlike lifting weights or you're just doing a movement, it just comes second nature.
But it's like holding your body. It's like your muscles are straining
Static
to hold
holds,
it there.
yeah. Like in CrossFit, they teach static holds. Like I guess this may translate in the dance as like a hollow position, or like a body hollow position. Like you hold yourself like hollow in that same form. So that might translate a little bit.
Is that like a yoga pose or something?
Kinda, yeah. It's kind of like you're holding your body in like an unnatural position to like strengthen those like fine.
That's
muscles.
more ballet, and ballet
Yeah.
it kills your body. Like a lot of them are done by age. Like on World of Dance, they were saying they were like
I've seen ballets like feet.
They were
messed
29 and their bodies were biting the dust. Like they sacrifice their bodies for the love of dancing for only like so many years. And if they're lucky enough to start when they're 2, they get to enjoy it from like 2 to age 30. It just breaks their bodies down because ballet is like such a style.
Feet.
Yeah, your knees and legs, you're not supposed to bend or move the way that
tendons
ballet
are
is.
stretched.
So is that all ballet is just like, is that what makes
Kind of
ballet
like contortion
ballet?
and flow, honestly. That's what I'd say.
The
Contortion
flexibility.
And flow, yeah.
I mean, like, what defines ballet as a type of dance? Like,
It's kind of like the history of it almost, and the point, like the point shoes on your toes. I don't know much about ballet. I'm just trying to remember from my humanities class from high school.
yeah.
But I love
That's
it.
the only reason I know about the feet.
I love it though. Like I love watching ballet. I would if I grew
It's
up
like
in
that
it.
Runaway song I was talking about. That ballet and that hits me right in the heart.
The Kanye West.
Like
the
if I
music
could have
video.
been, I would have been growing up in ballet. And you see a lot of these hip hop dancers, they grow up in ballet. That's how they have the perfect form, body control, and all that.
That's another important
Sometimes
thing too.
raw talent or like raw talents are way better than teach talent.
Yeah.
It's
Or
also
taught talent.
it's also super important to have like a broad spectrum of things that you learn too, because what you
Exactly.
learn in ballet you might translate into hip hop
Yeah.
dance. You know, like there are a lot of things that you can take from those subcultures.
Yeah, they say you be a master of one style, but don't limit yourself to that one style. Let your body experience what it feels like to move more with a flow instead of like popping and locking, more stiff and straight. Let it flow, and then okay, it's like one story.
Yeah, go ahead, get back to the
Because it comes back to that. And so in Las Vegas, I was dancing. The second day, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I was like, I want to do this, but it's like I'm putting myself through so much crap. It's like it was just me realizing that it's like I suck, which is where you have to start out at to become better.
absolutely
Realizing that I suck.
Yeah.
And so whenever I was
if
here,
you go into something thinking that you're the best, and like it's no fun, honestly.
yeah,
Well, it's not only is it not fun, but you're not gonna grow.
yeah.
Like you're not gonna grow at all if you think you're good from the start.
Yeah, so whenever I was here, I was like, oh yeah, I'm good. I can do this. I can keep
Yeah.
up with these professionals. And I got out there and I realized that I suck. I have nothing compared to these people. So my parents brought me lunch because the first day I thought they provided lunch, and I went 8 hours of dancing with no food and only water. And so, except like breakfast, we only had like 2 sausage planks because I was so nervous.
What the heck? What is a sausage plank?
It's like a
Yeah.
it's like a hot dog with sausage.
oh, did
Yeah,
you say a
sausage
sausage?
link.
Oh, I thought you said a
He said
plank.
plank. He
Oh,
did.
yeah.
Like what? Oh, you did.
Oh, they called links.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were called planks.
Walk the plank. Walk the sausage plank.
That would be a badass T-shirt, though.
Yeah.
Just walk
But
with
my
a
parents
sausage
brought
plank
me-
and a pool of gravy.
They brought me lunch though, and they said, so how is it? And I was like, it's rough. And they said, well, if you ever want to leave, we will. But I'm thinking, we spent money on this. We came out here for this. I don't want to. But at the same time, it's like I'm putting myself through so much crap.
I'll say this: it's almost like Keegan. Like he's started working out and stuff, and he's like spending that I guess like $30 a month on the gym membership.
Yeah.
I guess when you start spending that money, be like, well, I spent $30. Might as well
I
give it my all.
I
Yeah.
spent like this amount of money of coming here, flying here, being here in Las
Yeah.
Vegas. It's like you're held up to like you're held up to it.
That's honestly a good, like, for anybody out there who is like trying to push themselves. Like, give yourself some. Go ahead, Chad. Go take you a pee pee. For anybody.
I'm pulling a Joey Diaz. You cocksuckers. Gotta go pee.
That was a Joe Rogan reference. But like, it's like give yourself a reason to keep up what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, if you have some kind of financial incentive, like the first line that we did, it was like a summer line in like 2017, 2016, and like we dropped a lot of money on that, but it was like we were like, we gotta sell this.
Yeah.
Let's just drop this money so that we have to sell it, or else we'll be in the hole.
Yeah.
And that's super important to do.
Yeah. So I was sitting out there and I was eating lunch, and it was just like the door was right here, and to our right we heard these ladies talking, and they were just asking about what it's like living in Hawaii and all that. And it was two moms talking, and one of the moms from Hawaii was actually the mom of a teacher named Sienna, and she's part of the lab, and she is crazy good. She had just taught that class. She has this speed and this body control and this attitude that I've never seen before, and trying to make myself do that was so frustrating but so fun and so addicting. It's like it's almost addicting putting yourself through so much crap to grow, because you see that progress, and you just become a better person.
Yeah, like when you see somebody, when you see somebody that inspires you, chances are there's a little piece of you though that's like scared.
Yeah.
You're a little bit like, can I ever reach that point?
Yeah.
But at the same time, them being so good is what is making you want to try.
Yeah.
Because you're like, if they can do that, then so can I.
Yeah. And so after lunch, we walked back in. It was time for a Q&A panel. And so I hold the door open for one of the moms. And she thanked me and all that. And then I said, "You're welcome." I guess she picked up on the accent. I'm not real sure. And she asked me where I was from. Told her Kentucky. And then she's like, "Have you ever been to one of these before?" I said, "No, this is actually like my first in-person dance class." And she was like blown away by it. And I said, "I just learned off YouTube, and then I just wanted to come." And so she said her son was done the exact same thing, and her son's like a 12-year-old who can spin on his head, like an awesome b-boy guy, like all the floor tricks and all that. And she had this white, I call her my angel because like I didn't know her name, and she just like hit things up, and she had white hair and this awesome style. I could never live up to her style. It was awesome. And so it's time for the Q&A panel, and all these kids are asking the questions, and I'm like, I don't really have anything to ask. And like after the second question, I'm like, I need to do this. I felt this shaking in my chest where it's like, and I was like, okay. I said, "God, make it happen. if it's gonna happen, just make it happen somehow." And so I started raising my hand, and then they go to the people in the front. I was in the main back, and they would ask questions like, "What's your favorite Mexican food?" And I was like, I have a real question.
Yeah.
I want to know the answer to that, but like, I'm dying to ask him a question. And my angel was on to the right with the mom sitting, and she saw that, and so she got up and talked to one of the guys with the mic, and then I kind of followed her because I was like, what is she up to? And I followed her from and I looked over, and she was talking to the guy with the mic and pointing at me, and then I was like, oh God, and I was like, I didn't see that or whatever. And he comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, what's your name?" And I said, "Hunter." And he's like, "So I heard that this is like your first like dance convention ever." I said, "Yeah." And he's like, "Okay." And he said, "You got a question?" I said, "Yeah." And so they finished up and all that. And I actually like posted the video. This is actually in the video on YouTube. You can watch this part. But to sum it all up, I just told them the condition of hazard, what I'm wanting to do, how I'm self-taught, how I found them. The meaning behind agape dance. Agape is just like another word for unconditional. And so it can be either the unconditional love that God has for you, or the unconditional dance that you're doing. Like I'm dancing no matter the circumstances in my town, or I'm dancing no matter who I am or what kind of piece of crap I am.
For your passion,
or the others,
or others,
So it's multiple ways. So I told them that, and the wife Janelle, she's crazy. She's in Nicki Minaj's Anaconda video. Like these people,
For real?
these people
That's
like
cool.
have a resume.
Yeah.
She was crying. Wildebeest was crying. You know, it just hit them, and everybody in the room was crying. The kids were like, whenever I said there's no dance studios like here, like the closest one is like an hour or two away. They were like, how's that even exist? You know, and they were probably the way I was talking, they probably thought we were just from like dust and dirt and
like
all that. Nothing.
Surprised you had shoes on.
Yeah, but after they gathered themselves, you know, they were saying how it was hard, and like that's the reason why they dance. To like you guys, the reason why you do this is to lift other people up and to provide that platform and to help them get on their feet.
Yeah, no matter if we get any kind of anything from it, we don't.
He
care.
said it's not about the money. He said people think we're millionaires. They're not. You know, it all rotates within itself. They don't get much from it, and they do it for that love of people and for the love to dance. And it's just amazing seeing how dance brought so many people together. Like it brought somebody from Kentucky, New York, all the East Side, all the West Side, all together. Black, white, gay, straight, anything like that. It brought all those people in that room together, and they're, you know. It was like we were having church almost.
Yeah.
Anytime we were all dancing together, we were having church, and it was just awesome. And so he awarded me a scholarship to Wildebeest. I didn't know what it was at the time. I was like, is this like part of his group? Like I didn't know what it was. And so I actually met a mom from Kentucky. She was Miss Breathitt County when she went to high school. And so she moved to Tennessee, and then she moved to LA because her daughter became an actor/dancer.
Huh.
And so she told me what it was, and it's basically me going to LA for the big event at the end of the year for free. And so, and flash forward, we go to LA. This was like last month. That was this month. Wow. It was the, I think the 8th, something like that. No, the 1st or the 4th. And we go out to LA. And again, you know, I'm super nervous, and I get cranky when I'm nervous. I'm like, don't talk to me. I'm in the zone. Don't talk to me. My parents were asking me a ton of questions. What are you going to eat? What are you going to drink? I was like, I don't care. I got to get in the zone. And so an hour before, the first class was like 7 a.m. An hour before, I just go downstairs. I put my headphones on. I get in the zone. I calm myself, and I'm just like, I'm ready. I'm like, I've trained at Vegas. I've trained all between Vegas and now. I was like, I have to be somewhat better than I was before. And so the first class started. I felt better. I could hold on to choreography. I could, you know, actually execute the entire piece instead of just like the first 2 8 counts. It might not have been good, but I was able to hold on to it. So that was growth that I saw.
Yeah.
And so it was just an awesome week. It was like 4 days. They had a showcase. It was like a show, a performance. It was awesome. And so while that was going on, my sister was the only one that went in to watch, and she videoed stuff and everything. And she's become a big supporter too. She just loves watching me live out my dreams. And so while she's sitting in the observers, one of the moms of the girls in the company, I'm a Beast, I'm a Breathe, was actually sitting beside of her. And so she said, are you here for like your young one? And she said, no, I'm here for my brother. And she kind of gave the spiel of like, you know, what I'm doing, my dream, my passion, my mission. And she's like, oh, I want him to meet my daughter. And so, you know, I was about to do this contemporary piece. I'm not big into all that stuff.
Yeah.
This was like all over the floor, spinning and stuff. My body wasn't used to it. I was stiff. And I look up, and then I just see this lady with glasses saying, go. And, you know, because you have the option to go in the middle and to perform it. You know, they'll be like, all my boys 18 and up, go in the middle. All my girls 14 and down, they'll just call random groups and you go in the middle and you just execute what they just taught you. And so
is it like a competition, or is
no,
it like
it's just like a class. It's just
okay.
It's a class. They'll teach you it for like 30 minutes, and then they'll just call those groups, and then you just do it. You see how well you do. You know, it's not a competition at all. You'll have numbers on because that's for a different reason. But I would stay on the sides near like the watchers, so I wouldn't really like be out there.
Yeah.
And so I just see this mom pointing her finger like, go. And so I didn't know who it was. And then Jamie goes, like, you better listen to her. So I started getting tickled and everything. And so I went out there and I done it. I felt like awesome. Even though I sucked at it, I felt better about it because I saw somebody pushing me. I saw that, like, you know, somebody saw me and believed in me. and just like making me go out of my comfort zone right in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And later on, I was wanting to speak to Will because he wanted to speak at Las Vegas, and I didn't get the chance to. So after the whole thing was done, after the last closing ceremony was done, I was trying to speak to Will afterwards, and he was gone, and so I was like, I'm just going to go to the room. And that mom found me, and she said, introduced me to herself, introduced me to her daughter's friends, to her daughter, and she said, do you want to go out and eat dinner with us? And I was like, sure. And I thought it was just going to be the 4 of us, and at dinner, all of I'm a Beast comes and sits down. We go to a table of 18, and all these people that's been on TV, on these viral music videos, all these professionals and like people of different ranges in all places were at this table. And I was like, I wasn't starstruck, but I was just like in awe of like, I'm here.
Yeah.
How am I from
what
Hazard,
was
Kentucky here?
What was the span of time between the Vegas and then the LA?
Vegas was in March and LA was in August.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like that was, I mean that's fairly close together, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, I don't know, man. That's all like an amazing story. It really is.
It's like a God thing. Like I could not. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is not like this thing. This dream. This mission is so much bigger than me. Like I can't do this.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't know.
But you know, it's like you never ever, if you wouldn't have like entertained the thought of wanting to dance,
Yeah.
if you would have let your anxieties of not being good enough stop you from going to something like that, you would have never had the opportunities.
I would have never grown. Yeah, I never would have met the people. I became friends. I've met so many people. I've met people in Hawaii, New York, Tennessee, Florida, Rhode Island, Canada, something like that. You know, you just meet these people, you network, Vegas, Reno, all that.
Yeah.
I became friends with people on I'm a Beast, like in the company. I didn't think I would ever talk to them. And you just meet these different people and you become friends with them and you network and they're like, come here. If you're ever here, stop by. Like, let's collab. Let's do this. Let's do that. You know, it's just awesome. It's such a great community that I want to bring here. Hazard, when you go out of Hazard, especially way out west, you realize that Hazard is, people almost are in a dome. And it's this mindset that they have. And a big thing like I struggled with is like how practical is dancing? Like what does it accomplish?
It's
nothing.
Outside of dancing, it's just, you know.
It's just dancing. It's just for the fun of it. And it's like, how is that practical? But
Which I guess, like we were saying, like the athletic side of it.
Yeah.
I mean, you could be.
A
you could
fitness
just,
class.
You could just use dance as a means.
But
to
here
become
it's
athletic.
like there's like nothing for that to attach to.
Yeah.
But when you're out there and you're surrounded by people and you see the fun that they have, and some people are out there for a living, they're trying to get that audition. And that's another thing. I auditioned. I knew I wouldn't do good. I knew I would suck, but I'd done it for me. I'd done it to grow. And whenever, you know, I'd done my piece, it was like 2 hours after, and I texted my dad. I was like, can you bring me something to eat? I ate. He brought me a pop instead of a water, and I was like, wow. But I was all bloated and everything. And as soon as I sat down with my friends I met in Vegas, he got the mic, Will did. He said, where's my guy with the awesome testimony from Vegas? And I stood up, and I was like, and I was in a Kentucky shirt. I want to represent. And so I stood up, and he said, yeah, you go. And I completely sucked. I didn't run through the choreography over an hour. I was bloated. I had just ate. The nerves, the adrenaline, it all got to me. I was so sloppy. I forgot pieces. I completely sucked. And it haunts me every day. Like, I think about it every day.
But you know what?
At least it probably made you better, though.
That's what I was going to say.
You got educated from that.
Yeah.
If it ever
broke
happens
me down.
again, you know what to do.
Those haunting moments, dude. Those moments that you look back on and your stomach churns.
Yeah.
Like, those are the defining moments.
That
for
was
you.
that moment.
Yeah.
Because
if
afterwards,
you was great forever, then you would never learn anything.
Yeah, because one of my friends, he filmed me, and he said, I got it for you. And I was like, oh, God.
Did he say it like that? Like, I got it for you?
No, he's really cool. I've never met anyone like him before. He, like, talks with his head up, and then he'll, like, do this. He's really cool. Like, he's really mellow.
Yeah.
He's like, no, like, your vibe. Like,
He's always got, like, a holographic keyboard.
it's
in front of
awesome.
him.
He's got
singing off.
these red glasses. Like, he's got such a great style. And he filmed it for me. I don't remember like what all he said, but he's basically like, I filmed this for you, and we airdropped it, and I was watching it, and he said, I can tell you're judging yourself by the disgusting look on your face. I said, I am. I was like, I wanted to explain to everybody in that room that was watching me, that was cheering me on, like, this is why I sucked. But it's not about that. It's not proven to other people. It's about proving to myself that I could do that.
And also, it's like, if you don't get that opportunity to, a lot of the times, man, people will fail, and then they'll almost use it as a reason not to improve themselves, to just explain to people, you know,
wow. How.
Like how they messed up instead of actually improving. It's like, nobody really cares if you give excuses.
Yeah.
People just want to see a good show.
Yeah.
Like, if you go to a concert and they put on a bad show and you paid money for that concert, and they say, sorry guys, like, I know that wasn't that good, we just wrote that song like 3 minutes ago. It's like, well, why did you perform it?
Yeah.
You know?
Like,
so
my thing is being cocky. People always say I'm too cocky. I'm like, why is being cocky a bad thing? Like, be like, I'm gonna do this. Like, say you're gonna do this, be like, well, I wish I could do that. Why not say I'm going to?
Well, as long as you're actually going to, then like there's nothing wrong with that.
Like, my thing is right now is like, I used to be real big into CrossFit. Then I found, like, I guess powerlifting, and it's made me like kind of heavier, but I've got a whole lot more stronger.
Yeah.
And so now I've just like said, okay, fine, I'm just gonna be the world's biggest CrossFitter. And so I can say that as long as I'm going for it.
Yeah.
But if I say I'm the world's biggest CrossFitter and I'm not doing CrossFit, then it's kind of redundant.
Yeah, it's like the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
You know, people will see if you put in the work.
Yeah, and that's what he said. He said, it's not about how well you done. He said, you could have been like some of the people that went out there, when they forgot it, they froze. He said, you didn't freeze. You just kind of grooved on and you picked it back up. He said, it's not about executing it. It's not about being perfect. It's not about satisfying yourself. He said, he remembered you, Will remembered you. People in this room would kill for that. He said, first off, and just to dance in front of him and to get that second chance. He said, whether you killed it or not, he said, that's what people wanted. That's what people would kill for. Be proud of that.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Here's what I was saying, like, nowadays marketable people are noticeable people. Like, okay, say you have somebody like doing powerlifting or something that is just plain Jane, looks good, like she just has no personality, but he's better than me. Like, he's stronger than me, he just has bigger numbers than me. But if I have a better personality and a better marketable, like, ability,
you have a brand.
I have a brand.
That's
like,
who you are.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, if a CrossFitter is way more fit than me, but he looks like everybody else, nobody's going to be like, ooh, I want to follow him. But if I market myself as the world's biggest CrossFitter and I act like this, I drink beer, I just don't care about my diet, I eat whole pizzas at a time, and I still do decent against people that claim to be like A1 CrossFitters.
Yeah.
That's like more marketable. Be like, hey, have you seen this dude? He shotgunned a beer before the workout. Or, like, he eats a whole pizza, then goes works out, or like not, or like, would you be more inclined to watch somebody be like, he drank a Sobe water and ate 3 pieces of rice?
Yeah.
like it's just more marketability.
People relate to.
Yeah, people are more like,
nobody's gonna eat 3 pieces of rice before they go to a competition anyways. Like, people are gonna be like, oh, he eats a whole pizza, I can do it too. And then they try and they invest in you and they make money. You know, they put money towards you.
They almost feel more comfortable. Like, I'm not judging them. Be like, damn, I wish I was like that. I wish I would like eat healthy. I wish I would not drink.
Yeah,
and be like, hey, he's drinking, he's eating whatever he wants, and he looks like that. He does whatever he wants. He's decently strong. He's happy. Instead of like people just being like all serious, like, this is what I eat, this is what I drink, this is my training regimen. Yeah, I probably work out like two times a day, and I drink a lot and I eat a lot. Like, I've ate Taco Bell 3 times a day.
Dude, I don't know how you eat Taco Bell 3 times a day.
I really don't know how I do it.
I love it.
Like,
damn it,
it's
Hunter.
insane.
You've been agreeing with Chad all night. I'm sick of it.
But it's just weird. Like, I've been to many CrossFit competitions because Josh Cranky, he's elite. Like, he's going to make it because he does what needs to be done. But I've heard people, like, obviously I, like, chew tobacco, and they like I'll do like pack my tobacco, and you like see heads turn like I've just opened up like some heroin or something, like I'm about to like commit suicide around everybody, or like where I'll walk in like with a Diet Mountain Dew, and they'll be like, "What is that?" Like instant judgment. Like I'm just like, listen, if I work out so I can do this, I work out so I can drink that, I work out so I can eat that, I work out so I can like do whatever I want. I don't want to be elite, so don't judge me for not wanting to be elite.
There's no point in like, you know, looking like you're perfection, because nobody is perfection.
Yeah.
Like nobody, like if you want to be this image of like a dancer in your head, like whatever the image of a perfect dancer is in your head, it's just, it doesn't exist. Like everybody has flaws. Everybody is vulnerable when they're on stage.
Yeah.
And that's something else I was going to ask you too, is like, so how often do you actually perform as like entertainment as opposed to...
Dude, I would, if I was you, with social media nowadays, I would do like, I don't know, like choreography, like some show on Instagram that you post every Monday or something like that to show you what you have learned or progressed. Like, why not?
Yeah.
The people that are going to judge you are the ones that...
First off, me, I'm going to judge myself because
that's all you need, though.
I think I might have a flaw that's not a flaw, is that I don't never judge myself. Like, I can look at myself in the mirror and be like, damn, you are one of the greatest humans alive. Like,
I think that's judging yourself.
I think
but just
I'm the
positive
complete
judgment.
opposite.
yeah, like I'm like the most positive. Like obviously you see me in there a while ago. Like I was just flexing, like doing whatever I want to. Like I just don't care. Like I think I mentally think of what I want to be, and I make myself that in my head. Like I never have any judgment. Like obviously I have flaws. Everybody has flaws. Like I drink too much, obviously. But I just don't think of that as like a flaw anymore. I think it was like a part of me, like a social thing that I've created.
I was just wondering, like, I was just wondering in terms of like, because I was watching something the other day about like wrestlers and like how WWE.
Those are artists.
We were watching that Stone Cold on
Stone
Hot
Cold.
Ones. He was talking about how it's like a performance, and like you can hear the crowd and you kind of like use their energy.
Yeah.
Is that something that you do, or whenever you're dancing, are you completely just focused on like your movement?
I black out.
Yeah.
I black out. But like at the same time, when you're in the moment, you can tell you use the crowd's energy. But at the same time, whenever you finish and you wanna like, so on the drama team, like we'll go out to the park and then we'll do something, and if the crowd's dead, then it makes it harder. It makes it harder to put all into it because it's like they don't care. But at the same time, it's like it's not about them. But
do you ever like mentally perform for yourself? Like, you know, like, okay, if I'm working out, like, okay, I'm about to bench a number that I want to hit, but everybody in the gym, they don't care. In my head, I'm psyching myself up. I'm doing it for myself. Like I almost mentally create a crowd in my head.
I have this.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
I have this. Well, I don't do that. I have this image like I am the only person in the room, but it's like there's one table and there's a judge, and that judge is me, and he's like watching me and going to be like criticizing every single move. That's what I see basically.
I mean, it is good to like. I know whenever Chad was saying like he was like the super confident when he looks in the mirror, he sees the baddest motherfucker in town.
Yeah.
As you said, you were the opposite, but that's a good thing too, because you know there is.
It's almost like I'm supporting myself.
But there's benefits in confidence, but there's also benefits in self-critique too.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like you got to find that balance.
Yeah.
Like,
for sure.
You know, you got to be confident in what you're doing, not be ashamed of what you're doing, but at the same time, not be afraid to analyze what you did and critique yourself and say, hey, I did this wrong. I need to do
like
this better.
you could, like, critiquing yourself should not be as bad as you're, like, damaging yourself.
Yeah, that's one thing.
Don't critique yourself enough where you're hurting yourself. Be like, oh, I can't do that. Like, I don't want to do that.
Don't beat yourself up.
Like, be where you're like, okay, I can do that, or I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Or be like, well, I'm not that good right now, but I will be.
And that's something that
Never say I'm not gonna or I can't.
I've been posting
That's
on
my
Instagram.
thing.
Like, I'm trying to get more. I'm trying to push myself to the side and be that me that I want to be. I want to be that guy that people reads his stuff and like they get something from it. They're motivated or they're inspired by it or something. I want to move people with not just my dancing, but with my words and with my mission and with my actions. And so I'm trying to get more out there and not care about what people think, but also not care about how perfect and how well spoken it is. So I just recently posted about something about coming back from LA. It's such this different life. It's this life that I've dreamed about living since I was little. I've always wanted to be in Hollywood, and I never knew what it would be like. And whenever you was out there, you see the different types of people, their mindsets, how everything flourishes. And when you come back here, and there's nothing. It's a complete opposite. And whenever you can grow in your dancing out there and you come back here, it's all on me again.
Yeah.
And so you're almost depressed. And I picked up a job and it just non-stopped. The ball just started rolling as soon as I got back. I used to work out on top of dancing. I used to dance. I used to eat good. And with that work and that job, the crazy hours, the night hours, the early morning hours, the overnights, I stopped eating good. I stopped working out. I stopped dancing, and for those 2 weeks, I was not me. I was so
like
depressed.
I said, work starts at 5.
Yeah.
I was depressed. I didn't put any energy. I couldn't even. Whenever I listen to music, I saw stuff, but it was just like, yeah, I see this, but it wasn't like life, and it was just black and white, and
It's
so
kind of like a writer's block.
Yeah.
But with dance, basically.
Yeah, and it was. I was just dying.
I think everybody has that with their hobbies though. Like there was like a month or two like I completely stopped working out. Then like one day I obviously like Keegan started like hitting me up and he was like, let's go work out, and I was like, honestly I was like, why'd I ever stop? Then I guess we started working out. Then I was like, and I started like, obviously I'm not a trainer of any kind. I can't teach anybody. I know enough. But then he started like just doing what I told him, and he started seeing improvements. I was like, okay, damn. Maybe the stuff that I know and the stuff I self-taught and the stuff that I've watched, the stuff that I've paid for to like learn, would actually help me with consistency.
Yeah.
And he's like I've told him, I'm like, consistency is where it's at.
Yeah.
And so once I started working out consistently, this is like the strongest, the biggest, like the best shape I've ever been in, because I finally have like, it's almost like a little brother. Like you never want to like stop because you don't want to let your little brother down.
Momentum, like
Like I
keeping
lost that
yourself-
momentum because I almost like peaked. Like I was like, this is as good as I can be.
Yeah, same. And
Then
then when
finally-
I came home, it
yeah.
just stopped. And it just threw me off my bike. And I'm getting back up and I'm getting back on the bike. Because whenever I got home, I think it was last week, some of the students that came, they're friends of mine, they sent me a Snapchat and they were like, we want to dance. We want to learn how to
that's like-
dance.
like-
And I was
That's
like,
amazing.
I was
He'll
like,
text me sometimes. He'll be like, "We gotta work out." Like,
Yeah.
Then I'll be like, and I'll like go off like I'll not work out for a day. I was like, "Yeah, but I ain't not working out right now." Then
Yeah.
I'll like go work out. Like the other day, he had to like go to school or something. I was like, "Well, I'm not gonna miss the gym because I have to keep on progressing." Almost for him, really.
yeah.
Right, because I don't want to like keep on teaching him like stuff and not like live by my preachings, I guess.
Yeah, and it helped me too because it's like what I done and what I thought was just hitting the ground and not doing anything, because I had to cancel like I think it was like 3 or 4 weeks because I was in LA and I got the job and they weren't working with my schedule at all, so I canceled like 3 or 4 weeks of class, and I think it really helped me because it saw that what I was doing, and whenever I felt like those 5 weeks ago when I was having class that it wasn't doing anything, people were just going because they were my friends. Whenever I heard that
That's
that
what
they
happened,
wanted to learn
yeah.
how to dance, I was like, I'm doing something at least.
They're like a weird transition in with like I guess promoting yourself. Like at first your friends are gonna like
Yeah.
be all supportive. They're gonna like buy or like go to your class. When you jump over that gap, and it's like then people that you don't know start coming, or people that you don't know start buying, or people that you don't know start liking your Instagram posts, people you don't know start following.
Yeah.
That's when it's just like okay, now I have these people that don't know me, that don't have anything to do with me, supporting me right now.
Yeah.
So I have to keep going. Like I
Yeah.
have. It's not at this point. It's not for me. It's for like them also.
Yeah, I started teaching kids. I don't know when it was, because I feel like I want to create a culture and I want to bring that culture here, and I feel like you can't do that with the teenagers that are around here because they're already set in their ways. After they hit a certain age, they're already set in their ways. They're not doing this. They think that guys can't dance, or
Also,
they think that straight guys can't dance.
I also hate this about this area. Like, it's automatic judgment.
Yeah.
Automatic, because they're just like, nah, if I do that, then I'm going to be judged, just like I'm judging him or I'm judging them.
That's exactly it. Is like the reason that people judge you when you start something new is because they're afraid to start something themselves.
Yeah.
Because of those same insecurities of being made fun of. It's just that they are not secure enough to actually go through with it.
Or some people just don't understand. Like, again, with that dome, like whenever I started, I've had like people almost complain like, this is choreography, this isn't Zumba, this isn't a workout, this isn't what I want, this isn't, I know that it's important to give the customer what they want, but at the same time, it's like, how long am I going to bend to you to realize that, like, this isn't what I'm trying to bring? I've heard people...
Yeah.
It's almost like this, too, with, like, Outsider Brand. Like, almost if I've known you and you've, like, hated on it, or, like, I will almost treat you better than the people that have supported from the beginning.
Because it's like, look at me.
Because
look
I'm just like, okay, now that you're on board, I'm gonna really show you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you
Let's
what you're
show
missing.
you the power
Yeah.
that it has.
It's important to not cater to people, because if you really have something that you believe in, you need to present that thing confidently so that they can get into it and get it and find something new. Because like you said, this town is like devoid of like inspiration a lot of the times, like devoid of, or is it void or devoid?
It's scared of different.
It's
Almost.
it's scared of new things.
So many people told me, that won't work here. You should try like Lexington, Louisville, these big cities and all that.
Or like,
and I'm like,
let's like start this brand in like Tennessee, or let's start this brand in Lexington.
I'm like, it might, it could, but
why not?
I'm gonna try here first. And if
why
it doesn't, like you said, then I'll move off and try it there. But I'm not gonna stop trying if it doesn't work. It'll suck and it'll hurt, but it'll also help me grow. So I know, like, this could be, I have no idea, this could take off, and then this could be the dance central of the east side of the continent.
You never know, because what was, I mean, I don't know the history of like Lexington or Tennessee, but I do know that in the beginning it wasn't what it is now.
Yeah.
In the beginning it was a town just like every other
Even
town.
Pikeville.
Yeah, Pikeville. That's
And-
what I was saying. Like, why can't Hazard like grow to what other cities has? Like, why move to that city and like
Because
jump
people,
on their bandwagon?
People don't, either they don't believe in themselves or they don't believe in this town, so they move off, and they want other people to believe in them so they can believe in themselves, or they want to be surrounded by other success so they can try and be successful.
Being overconfident is not a bad thing. Being obsessed or like addicted, obsessed and addiction is not a bad word, I don't think.
I think something that's important is tunnel vision.
Yeah.
Like, whatever it is that you want to
throw up the
accomplish, whatever it is that you want to do, you just do that, and you don't as long
There's nothing wrong with failing. There's a lot wrong with not trying.
Yeah.
Yeah, the trying is...
There's nothing wrong with failing. There's something wrong with not trying.
Exactly. And if you try something and you fail, then, you can try again. But if you never try,
you ain't got nothing to learn from. You ain't got nothing to build off of yet. You don't have any past experience.
And that's really going to bother you, too, because, it's
like
almost...
the what if.
It's almost
the
like...
what if would kill me.
Like being, sometimes I think back to, like, 5th or 6th grade me with, like, a girl that I liked or something, and, like, I wasn't confident enough to ask them out, but it would bother me every day because I would just wonder, like, would she, though?
Yeah.
Would she be with me?
What if?
What if? Like, what if your dance took off?
And that was a big thing in LA. Like, my sister wanted me to audition. I kind of want to. It never really crossed my mind, but I was like, sure, why not try it? Why not? I'm not going to be the best, but what if he were to take somebody that's not the best and just train under him? You know, that's the thing.
Yeah, like usually,
work studies are a
usually
thing.
Raw, unbuilt people are the best people to train.
Right.
If you shoot down ideas before they manifest, you're doing yourself a disservice,
Yeah.
because if you would have shot down if the second you got that idea of going to that where was it, the first one, Las Vegas?
Yeah.
If you had that idea and then quickly you said in your head like, but I'm not good enough, I'll do that next year,
I wouldn't be where I am right now.
you would not be where you are right now.
That's like me right now. Like I have a CrossFit competition like September, the end of September. I know I'm not in CrossFit shape. I'm 300 pounds. CrossFit athletes are like 5'8", 185 pounds. Like can do all the gymnastics movements and stuff. But what if I never try right now? Then I don't know what it is to feel like to be in a competition. I don't know what to train for. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to defeat that at a higher level if I don't do it at this level right now.
And like, stop putting things off. Like, stop waiting. Stop being like, oh, I'll start working out on Monday.
Yeah.
Start working out right now. What's stopping you?
Yeah.
Even if you can only work out for 10 minutes a day, do that.
10
That's
minutes is
something
more
that's
than
moving
nothing.
towards your goal. Like, it's about like this constant progression. If you want to do something, you do that
Yeah.
thing, and it's as simple as that. But there's like this inclination to resist doing things that you know are hard, because you know it's hard work, and you know that if you fail, it's going to break your heart because it's something that you love.
Yeah.
But you have to chase that thing.
Yeah.
Because that's the only thing that's going to give you fulfillment at the end of the day.
Yeah, and like the trip home from LA was so much different from the trip home from Las Vegas. From Las Vegas, I felt like I was coming back to Hazard with ammo, with ammunition. Like, I got this power, like, let's go, boom, boom, boom. And coming back from LA, I felt like not like a failure, but it's like I could have done so much better. But like my dad said too, he said exactly what you said. Don't get home and just keep wishing or asking what if I auditioned, what if all that. I'm glad that I got that out of the way. But coming home this time was like I hit that low. But I feel like it's the same low that Hazard took. You know, you have to hit that low before things start flourishing and getting better. And people, whenever they're presented with nothing, that's when they get desperate. That's whenever they lock into their like creativity.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think Hazard, like, talk about Hazard. I think Hazard right now is the most creative it's ever been.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Obviously, with like Outsider brand, you're starting your own dance thing, Appalachian Apparel Company, like those like big three that I've been thinking about, and like just people are becoming more creative with their social life, and like,
Yeah.
hey, I do this. Like even people are starting to like do makeup stuff like you've never thought.
Even the small stuff like the art in town, they're putting color into Hazard. They're trying to
Yeah.
bring art and make it a normal thing, like
Yeah,
make it
like,
okay.
It was almost like when we was hanging up these posters, like people was like calling the cops on us, be like, oh, they're doing something bad. They're like hurting things. Like, why is hanging up some posters that can be took down a bad thing if it's just gonna liven up the environment, make it more like coming.
Like I saw these posters on, like, I drive through Maintown. I was in the SOAR thing, the business class or whatever. It's over now, but every time I would drive through and see these on the parking structure, I was reminded not only by the color that they painted on it, but seeing these, it's like reminding you that like people's dreams are being lived out right now. Like people's dreams are being
people.
paved
That's
out.
awesome.
That's what when we made these posters, it was like he sees. It's not like it's whatever you like think about. Like with me, it'd be like he sees, like, I don't know, somebody that's better at me at fitness, or like he sees like somebody that's better than you at dance. Like they're seeing you progress. They're seeing you, like the town is seeing like
There
growth.
are, despite whether you think you're in a bubble or not, there are people watching you who are being inspired by you.
Yeah.
That's what he sees means to me. It's like there are always people out there who are watching what you're doing, and of course there are people out there who are watching what you're doing and judging you negatively.
because they can't live out the dream that they wanted to live.
Right.
But that's not even what's important is the people who you're inspiring.
Yeah.
The people who see what you're doing and you make them want to better themselves.
And that comes right back to not caring about what they say, because my thing is like posting. I hate posting because it's like you're so vulnerable. I hate opening myself up, but I'm trying to get used to that. I'm trying to get used to the pain that comes with that. And like I've learned so much in LA because during their business Q&A panel, a girl that I met in Las Vegas, her name's Lady Papa, and she's a dancer. She's kind of doing the same thing I am. She's from Rhode Island. So she has more of a crowd because it's in the city and all that. But she asked a question about marketing and branding and how to get yourself out there. What should she call herself and all that? And Will was like, I've seen you post on Instagram.
Yeah.
This guy who works with like all these artists, these big artists who does stuff for Kanye West and all that. He saw this girl living out her dream. I'm watching you grow on Instagram. I see
like
you. He sees.
Yeah.
And it's like, that all comes back to, in that point I was like, crap, I haven't been posting because I wasn't good enough to
always
myself.
Market yourself. Like,
yeah.
So people can see you grow. People can see like just the
and
evolvement
that's my thing,
of yourself.
Is progress and growth I have such a hard time with, because whenever I see this and have this dream and vision, I want it now. And whenever I hit the bumps that you need to grow and that you need to redirect yourself to what you're wanting, it's like you get so discouraged because it's like, it needs to happen now. I need to get this grant now. I need to get whatever it takes to get this building together now. I need to get these people to understand and be professionals now so I can post these videos and get the non-professionals. There's such this big progress and this growth that I forget, and I think that other people forget. So it's
almost the he sees thing to me is like almost like the people that hate on you at the beginning are going to be your biggest supporters in the end.
Yeah.
Because like at the beginning, people was just buying our clothing as pity to us because they see us working. They're just like, like it's almost as pity.
Yeah.
Like they just come to your class almost like, I'm his friend, I better go.
Yeah.
Or like they're making this stuff, I better buy it. Or now they're just like, when are you gonna hook me up? When are you gonna do this? When are you gonna hook me up with this? When are you gonna give me this?
Yeah.
Or like,
and I started teaching the kids.
Or can you post me on your Instagram?
Because you can feed into them, and they take it, and they're sponges. And so if you start feeding into them the culture that you're wanting to bring in here and what dance can do, how it can help somebody like me who was quiet and who had bad posture, if it just completely transforms somebody, or it just helps somebody, or it keeps somebody from committing suicide.
Oh yeah.
That's the thing.
Absolutely.
That's the thing that I want. I want with this. I don't want the profession. Even though I said I wanted them, I want to see them become professionals. I want to see them grow. I want the kids who are from like broken families, who's from like drug addiction.
Almost treat that like hour or whatever, like 30 minutes that they're with you as a release.
Yeah.
Like so they go home and they're like, okay, I'm good. I've let out everything. Or like it's almost like working out for me. Like I work all day. I work like close to like 8 to 9, 10 hours a day. Then I go work out, and it's just like I'm in here. This is all I'm doing.
Yeah.
This is a release for me. After I'm done, I'm like my body's tired. Now to tire out my mind, I'm gonna go do something else. And once I get home, I'm just like, okay, there's nothing else to worry about. Everything else is so small.
People don't get to express themselves or release themselves enough. Like people don't give themselves enough things to do that
Judgment will kill you faster than anything.
they enjoy.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about the momentum of like, how important it is to, if you're doing something, to like consistently keep up with it, because it's like once you stop, you kind of go stagnant.
Yeah.
But like it's that momentum is the same way if you're living a life that you aren't really fulfilled with. If your momentum that you're running with, if you've been running with the momentum for 5 years that you go to a job you hate, you come home to a life that you hate, you take your clothes off to take a shower when you come home and you hate the body you have, that's bad momentum.
Yeah.
Change that momentum.
Yeah.
It's almost like, well, I don't know how long you've been doing like the Instagram, like promoting yourself to like a business thing, but Outsider's been so, like we're a new company, I guess. We're 3 years, 4 years maybe, but we've had so many like stagnant things. Like we went from like going hardcore, like getting together every day, working on stuff every day, doing that. Then we went times where that's like 6 months.
Yeah,
of
just
nothing.
dead.
And that's
Nothing.
one thing
People think that we're not even doing it anymore, but now that we've experienced those dead spaces, we're just like, we can't let that happen again. We know
Yeah.
what to do. We know how to do it. And we're just going to keep on, like, keeping from being stagnant. Like, it's always in the back of your head.
Yeah, that's one thing that I've been questioning too. Is like, did I jump too fast? Like, should I start selling me as a teacher before a company? Because I wanted so bad, like you guys said, to have that place where people
Yeah.
belong, where they find that sanctuary for at least an hour. If their life is a complete mess when they go home, I want them, as soon as they walk in the door, as soon as the music plays, it's just completely goes away, and they're just in this room, and it's
like-
just them. Because music, like we were just out there doing, we were just, how long, an hour we were listening
that's
to music?
just like good
Yeah.
times.
we were just in an escape. It was like this portal, and
Yeah.
so I wanted to jump so fast, like I said, because I didn't want progress because it was so long and it was so painful. I wanted to go ahead and create this thing to where people can feel like they belong.
Let me
That's
tell
like
you
Outsider,
something.
too.
Let me tell you something that Chad taught me, because whenever we first started Outsider, like, me and Peyton wanted to be very methodical, and like you just said, you wondered, should you have promoted yourself as a dance teacher before
Yeah.
you started all this other stuff? I don't think that ultimately matters.
Yeah.
Because Chad, like, with me and Peyton, we would go stagnant because we would overthink things. We'd be like, you know, if we're going to do this line of clothes, we have to have all these ads lined up, and we have to have all these posts, and we have to make them particular. Chad was just like, forget it, and just started posting things.
Yeah.
And just started being active, and that's really the most important
Like, it's
thing.
almost being, the more real you are, is the more, like, was the word, like, more impressionable, I guess, or like,
Well, you just become a part of somebody's life. I
Yeah.
think when you're constantly in their feed, that's more important than.
being more relatable is better than being corporate.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's why I want to start sharing my heart
If it
and being
was
open,
on-
because people's like this. I feel like people don't get to see the failures on Instagram. People always see the abs that they have. They don't see of course they see the workout progress, but they don't see, like, I don't know, they don't see they don't feel or see really, like, the work that they put into.
That's the social media culture that
Yeah.
we live in right now. Is you see
just
what
put
people
the highs. Everybody wants to just see the highs. Out there.
exactly. You see what people want you to see.
Yeah.
You project out into the world what you want to be rather than what you really are.
Yeah, and I'm wanting people, like you said, to come with that journey and grow with me. And my friends are like, you should start posting on YouTube. You should, like, make a channel and all that. I'm like, I'm not good enough to do that yet. But at the same time,
People are interested in progression. Like,
Yeah.
say I watch I don't know. I'm like, Peyton has got me real big into, like, restoration videos. What if they just made a video of what they restored? That would not
Yeah.
be good. Like, I want to see, like, okay, you have this piece of shit and you turned it into this. I want to see that gap.
Yeah.
I would rather see that gap than, like, here's this piece of shit. Here's this awesome thing you made. I want to see that gap. I would rather see that gap.
yeah. And so, like, that's what I'm slowly and painfully teaching myself, is, like, it's okay to suck right now.
Yeah,
It's
people would
okay-
rather see the gap than the end
Yes,
product.
it is okay to suck, man.
Yeah.
It really is.
Trust
like,
me, we sucked.
That's a hilarious
Like,
thing to say.
Like, just before we got here, I taught a class, and, like, only one of my friends came. But it didn't matter because, like, I was like, okay, it doesn't matter how many people are here. If it was just me,
Yeah, I'd rather take one interested person that's fully into it than 100 people that are just
If it was just
halfway
me,
in.
I was still going to
100%.
have class, because what I was going to do is I always take lights with me. I put the lights up. I brought the fog machine. I brought my speaker. I'm always ready. So if it was just going to be me, I was going to have class myself. And so,
That's the way Outsider Brand is, really. It's like, we may only have like 500 followers, but those 500 followers are solely invested into Outsider. Like, they are here for a reason. That's honestly why we don't follow people back, because we don't want them to feel like we're like,
we want it to be real.
We want it to be
we
real.
want an organic following. We don't want people to follow us
because
just,
we can give you this.
just
we can
because
do
of
this.
a number.
Yeah.
Like, that's not what's important.
I'd rather have 500 followers that are engaged with you, that are interested, that are all in, not because they just know you or like,
Well,
"Ooh, if I follow this, or like they're gonna follow me back.
but what I absolutely love about Outsiders is, like, the characters, the people that you see. I don't know if I like
Yeah,
saying
we're
characters.
characters.
I like saying characters because like characters are unique. It's
Yeah.
like I don't know why I've never played this game before in my life, but Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Like I just guess because it's like two different crazy worlds, like this anime looking thing versus this Disney.
Oh, Kingdom of Hearts.
Yeah,
I know what you're
Kingdom
talking about.
Hearts. It's
Yeah.
like Disney,
Disney
characters.
I've
with,
never
like-
played it before, but it's
Final
like
Fantasy.
Yeah.
that's when I think of characters. That's immediately I guess because like we played at your house sometimes, but like each person, Donald Duck, Pluto, some of the people from the
Final Fantasy.
they're all unique and they're characters and they all have strengths and weaknesses, but they're all together.
Yeah, it's like,
and I
that's
love
what we're trying to build it outsider. Like we don't care if you're like, I don't know, 6'5", can bench press 400 pounds, or like,
a stick.
or a stick that like plays the drums, or like
Or
somebody that's a nerd,
uncoordinated,
that,
but
yeah.
has a crazy heck of a style.
Like,
Yeah.
the thing with outsiders, like, we always promote like anybody can hang out with anybody. That's the way that's like what it was really built off in high school.
Yeah,
Because like
100%.
we really didn't have any cliques. Like the basketball players didn't really care if
That was so weird because our high school, like our senior class, was so like that too, and it was so amazing because like there was no you didn't
at any
see-
time you was never by yourself.
Yeah, you never saw any barriers or walls or anything. Everybody was together. The jocks hung out with the drama team. The band hung out with the cheerleader. It was just so crazy.
And
Like-
just like we were saying with dance subcultures, and it's important to learn about ballet even if you are doing hip hop dance. It's important to learn about basketball even if you are a musician.
Yeah.
Because man, there are a lot of musicians out there who could really use the hustle that basketball players
Yeah,
have. For
it's-
real.
It's almost like what I've developed with Josh Crank. Like he hates social media, he hates putting himself out there. And he started seeing what I was doing with Outsider, and obviously he's like my lifelong best friend, like brothers for life. And finally I was like, bro, why don't you promote yourself? We gave it about 2 months, and he was like, now he'll like text me like, bro, come work out at my house. Let's go get some like photos for my Instagram to like promote myself as like maybe get some more sponsors or like this right here. And it's like, I guess like me doing this for me has gave him something.
Yeah,
and
because
he's gave me something.
I don't even know that guy, but whenever I see like you guys posting stuff, I'm like, is he like a legit person? Like, are these two legit CrossFit trainers? Because like I'm seeing him at these competitions.
Yeah.
I'm seeing you guys put in this work together. I'm seeing y'all film. Is it a garage?
Yeah.
I'm seeing you guys film there, and I'm like, these guys are legit. And so it's such a good lesson for me too, because it's like I need to post that.
Yeah, it's just
so
like-
people can see me. It's just like this big circle.
Or it's almost like, I was thinking about this. I wrote this down in my notes to talk about, because I have this thing where I'm like, I don't judge anything. I'll learn anything. I'll do anything. Like if, like it's almost like graphic design. I hang out with Peyton. He obviously don't work out, but we're like best buddies. We like see each other every day. We work together. And I was like, why am I not utilizing him for like bettering myself? I was like, teach me how to graphic design. And he was like all about it. Then finally, like, it's almost like we flip-flopped, and he was like, teach me how to work out.
Oh my God, man! People, I mean,
Like, your friends should never be the same as you, I don't think. They should have common interests,
Yeah.
but they should never be the same, because if you hang out with a group of people that are all into the same thing and only have the same mindset, then you're never going to better yourself. Like,
you're never gonna have a broader perspective. You're gonna be living in a bubble,
yeah.
and like,
And that's really brought Josh Crank out of his bubble, like being with me, because you've known me you've talked to me like now 2 hours. You know that I'm a very loud person. I don't really get embarrassed. I don't care what people think, really. And him hanging out with me has really, like, I guess, like, gave him part of my personality. But me hanging out with him has gave me a part of his personality. Like, I need to work out. I need to, like, out-train him. I need to outdo him. Like, and he's like, okay, now I need to be like Chad and not care what people think. And so he texted me the other day, and he was like, yo, these people at college think I'm wild. You ought to see Chad, how like outgoing he is. Like, they would just think that you're just out of this world.
and as far as talents go, people love to share their talents.
Oh, yeah, that's like
if
their
you,
thing.
If you are like, you know, the situation with you and Peyton, a graphic designer and somebody who's passionate about working out, it's like, you know, people love it. That you just think about somebody who
It's not like you
recently-
love
think
talking about yourself.
Think about the guy who gets into CrossFit. Everywhere he goes is like, man, you guys know how to do CrossFit? It's
Yeah.
because he wants everybody to know. He
Yeah.
wants everybody else to feel what he's feeling.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
he knows.
He wants people to know that he's getting better and that he's like becoming stronger and that
Yeah.
like him as a person is changing.
it makes him feel better, and he wants to share that with other people
Yeah.
because he hopes that it will make them feel better.
Yeah.
And I think it really does. I
Like
think
these people that like won't tell you how to do something, like, and they feel like you're a threat. I'm like, then you're not gonna get any better. Like, I was writing down in my notes. I was like, I wonder if like we could showcase your talent of like, or like even better, your teaching of dance by teaching somebody that has no idea how to dance like me, like in like a video progress.
God,
like,
yes, let's do that. That I think
like on
that's the
outsider,
hype.
like teach me from like beginning to end, and like you could almost use it as like further in your career. It's like I taught this from this point to this point.
Teach the outsider squad to dance. That'll be
Let's
a
do
good
it.
cross promotion video.
Let's do it.
Like
I can't wait to see
Hey,
Peyton.
that could be like great, like a video to like almost like promote yourself. Be like, I've brought somebody from this level of dance to this level.
Yeah.
of
But not
dance.
even that. I don't even want.
Or like
that
any
too.
culture can dance. Like,
But I love that it's almost like here's what outsiders means. And back to what I was saying, I love whenever I can click on your profile or anybody that tags it. I love seeing who all like. Usually I'm not a
it's just
person.
so broad.
I'm not a
of
person
people.
that looks through that kind of stuff. But whenever it's stuff like this, where it's like what's happening in town, what dreams are people pursuing, that's the stuff I go through. I'll look at the tags and all that, and I'm like, who's an outsider? I want to see this character. I want
Yeah.
to see this person. And every single person that has that shirt on is so different and so unique. You have travelers, you have people who have never been out of town, but it's like
Yeah,
they
you
are
have people
such
that-
themselves that they don't need to leave
yeah.
to find who they
That's
are.
Like you have
awesome.
people that do like BMX, skateboarding, graphic design,
Or
drummers,
none of
dancers.
that, and they love being an outsider because they don't do any of that.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
just like immersed in the culture that has become outsider, just being
I love
yourself.
I love it.
Dude, you
Like,
know
that's
what?
the greatest part of being part of outsider. It's not like, I don't know if you'd call it clout, because people do like notice me at like, obviously I go to like bars and stuff and they'd be like, hey, I've seen you on Instagram.
Yeah, you
like,
guys are the faces of outsiders.
I'm so glad that you're supportive and you give a lot of love to us, man. Because like I really love what you do too, and I'm sure Chad does as well.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think
Any
this
dream is worth supporting, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
No matter, like I said, if
Because
you're
it
good at
changes. It
tic-tac-toe.
changes the people. If the dancers who were struggling with suicide never found dance, which was their escape from
Yeah.
that, they would not be here.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's almost like my brother. Like, he's real big into gaming. Like, I would never hate on him sitting behind his computer, behind his 3 computer screens, his $5,000 computer. I would never hate on that because it's not me.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I'll play, like, Mario Kart with him or something like that, but I don't want to, like, be like, bro, you should, like, get out and work out or
Yeah,
something.
do what you want to do.
Yeah.
But if he, like, come to me and, like, bro, I want to start working out, I'd be like, let's go.
Yeah.
Then I'd be like, teach me how to, like, edit video.
Yeah.
Teach-
Don't try and replace someone's therapy with yours because it's gonna make them miserable.
Yeah.
Because I just met so many different people.
There's nothing wrong with doing something that's out of the norm to help yourself.
And their stories are so vast and they're so different and they're so deep. All their stories are from the soul and from the heart. Like when you hear their story, they don't even have to tell you their story. When you see them dance, it's like they're telling you their story and you see their faces, you see their passion. They can just raise an arm and it's like, wow. Like I'm not a crier at all, but I cried twice. 3 times. I cried 3 times in LA because watching people, you're connecting with them. You're watching their story. You're literally
Yeah.
watching like a TV show, and you're just seeing it and you're feeling it. And
It's almost like you've become part of their life just by being there.
yeah, and I've never cried while dancing, but I did one time because that piece, it just hits you. And like I said, we had church because a guy was crying. It was doing healing.
Like, I love that reference, like, church. Like, when people say church, you've said it a lot. They think of, like, going to, like, read the Bible, listen to a preacher, like, do the church thing. But going to church is almost like, to me, is like a social gathering
Yeah,
of
it's
one,
it's like
of one
this connection.
interest.
Yeah.
Like, you
And
could
a lot of
almost
people
call
around
church
here-
like a CrossFit event. Like,
Yeah.
we're all at church. Like,
Yeah, because it's bettering themselves. And some people, like, for me, I feel like dancing just like replenishes my soul. Like, if, like I said, I didn't do it for like 2 weeks, I felt dead. I didn't even feel motivated to like read my Bible or
Yeah.
anything like that, because it's such like a foundation for me, or a building block. And so, like, if one of them just stumbles, then like it feels like everything just stumbles.
it's like almost like with working out with me, it's like for the like this past like 4 or 5 months since Keegan started working out with me, it's not like I'm obviously getting stronger, getting faster, getting more in shape, but at the same time I'm almost like bettering myself as like mentally.
Yeah.
I'm bettering myself mentally as much as I am physically, because after you have that long day at work, that 8 hours, you have stress on you, people rely on you, then you get to go to the gym and just almost be yourself for an hour or 2 hours. So people that lack that are the people that I'm the most scared of.
Yeah, I love, like, today after work. I was so excited
Work
because
starts after 5.
yeah, after I got a new job at a pharmacy, so like, the hours are so much better. It allows me to do stuff like this. It allows me to dance and to work out and everything like that. And I was just looking so forward to it. But I almost stressed myself out. And like on my Instagram post, I was like, don't put unnecessary stress. Like, enjoy it. Don't make it stressful. And so I was almost stressed out today because I was like, I don't know anything about what I want to teach.
Yeah, it's almost like
Man.
I'm mostly self-taught with marketing and stuff. Marketing, like, the stuff I've learned is to market yourself is almost approachable. Like, don't market yourself as, like, so big that they can't approach you.
Yeah. And that's one thing is, like, I want people to know, like, I want to be, like, I really struggle with, like, I want to start this. I want people to know I'm a dancer. I want people to know that I don't suck. I want people to know that I'm going to do this. But at the same time, I want people to come with me.
Yeah.
I
Let them
think-
notice you as the dance guy.
I
Like,
think-
people notice me as, like, the outsider guy.
I want to give out love and support, and, like, I'm here for you. I want to
Yeah.
be that big brother, that dad figure, whoever the kid is that they're missing that and they need that in their life. I want to be their mentor.
Or just somebody
I want
to
to be
talk
anything.
to. Somebody to be
their
something to be a part of.
Yeah.
I think what you're doing in this area is like super important. I'm really glad that you're bringing dance, and like I'm so glad that the person who is bringing something new to this town is somebody who's actually passionate about it. And I mean,
You're not doing it for a quick buck.
yeah, I mean, for you to
Yeah.
sit here and say that, like, you get emotional about dance, I know that you're passionate about it, and I know that you're gonna care about every single person who comes into that studio and gets taught under you. So, like, I think everybody, even if you're a little bit interested in dance, I think you should go out and check out. What is it, Hunter? Give us a plug.
Oh gosh, it's called Agape Dance. A lot of people think it's Agape, so Agape. So
AGAPE.
AGAPE,
Do you have
Agape
any,
Dance. I have an Instagram page. It's Agape_DNCE because dance was taken.
Okay, you know if they've come this far in the podcast, they're going to follow that. So.
Yeah, all right. We love everybody who listens. We love Hunter. Hunter's a beautiful man.
I love you all. I love outsiders.
All right. Peace out, y'all.
See ya.
Doses.